Hello, I am Tania. I am the other half of One Foot in Both Worlds. Spirit wanted to take a bit of a different turn on the regular One Foot in Both Worlds podcast that Nettie and I do together. And what they wanted to talk about was plant medicine. So with that said, I am not a herbalist. I'm not a medicinal type person, but I am a medical medium, so Spirit does sort of give me the information and I am here to share it with you. So the one that they wanted to talk about today was dandelions. And actually in the spring, I had picked a bunch from my yard because I knew that my grass hadn't been sprayed with any pesticides. So basically what they say is that the entire plant can be used. You can use the stem, the root, and the flower. So they said it's good for indigestion, heart health, it's an antioxidant. I'm looking at my notes. It's an antiviral. It clears toxins in your blood through your liver. It helps with inflammation and it helps with water retention. So they also said that, the cup of the flower, how it connects to the stem. They said that there's like a milky sort of white liquid in there that works really well as an antibacterial to put onto cuts and stings and burns. And in order to harvest it, I'll be honest, I haven't done this. Like, this is just the information that they gave me, but to harvest it, they said that you can use all of it. The leaves are good for kidney function and they can be eaten raw, like as in like a salad type thing, or you can fry them up and with like some garlic or however you choose to eat them. But interesting, they also said that the leaves, when you chew them up in your mouth, it can emulsify. So somehow the spit mixed with the leaves, and then you put it into sort of a bunch and put it on top of a wasp sting or a bee sting or something, that it will actually work as a poultice to sort of pull that sting out, which I thought was super cool. And then they said that the root is one of the very important parts that is very good for the detoxification. So picking a bunch and actually pulling the root up, clean it really well, and put it into a jar, as many as you absolutely can, and cover that with 40% vodka alcohol, and let that sit for 10 weeks, just kind of shaking it up and stirring it throughout those 10 weeks. And when it's done, that can be used as a tincture, sort of like with a little dropper, or it can be boiled down and turned into a salve to be able to put onto different cuts and things like that. What I did was I took the actual flowers and I rinsed them off in like a water bath, and I put salt in because apparently that helps get rid of the bugs. So cleaned that up, and then I put it into my dehydrator. And then from the dehydrator, I just have it stored in like a mason jar. And so those tops can be used for tea. And the salve that if you boil it down, they said that can actually also be used on joints in order to help with inflammation. So the whole point of all of this is that they really want us to take and become more empowered in our own healing, and to be able to do and eat and consume very normal things that we can find in order to assist our growth. And there is a podcast where Nettie and I actually talked about diet, and we talked a lot about seasonal eating. So what Spirit says is that when these plants themselves come up, so for me in the spring, the dandelions come up, that's when your body most needs that detoxification and the healing benefits from dandelions. So with that said, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope it's helpful. Please always do your research, like and subscribe, and definitely hit up our podcast because there's so much amazing stuff on there. So hello, I'm Tania Leanne. Hello, my plant medicine friends. Not that long ago, I did a video where Spirit was giving me information about dandelions, and they were saying that if you get a burn or a bite or something, you can actually take the leaves and chew them up. There's some process that happens in mixing with your spit that helps with these different things. So, as it turns out, because I'm always the living example, I am making salsa, and I was pulling the jars out. One splashed on me, and I actually have a burn that's starting to grow a little bit of a blister. I can't really show you where the burn is because it might not. It's right on my breast, and this might not meet the community standards. So what I'm gonna do is walk you guys through the process, and then I'm going to fill you in tomorrow how this actually worked, okay? So, I went out into my yard because I have some dandelions. So I took the leaves. These are my leaves, and I'm gonna chomp them up for your enjoyment. And I have a Band-Aid because I can't figure out any other way to actually make this into a poultice to make it stick to my skin. So I'm gonna chomp these up. I'm gonna add this underneath the Band-Aid on the burn, and I'm gonna get back to you about how this goes. Just so you know, the chewing process is kind of gross. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for that. It made me gag. Okay, we got a little bit more. Okay. Ah. Not the most wonderful experience I've had. Very bitter. I'm trying to make sure my spit mixes with it. All right. Okay. I'm gonna stick it on and be right back. All right, friends, it's on there. I might have a dandelion in my teeth. It wasn't a horribly unpleasant experience, but it had a very bitter kind of, I didn't like it, but I have it on there. Maybe I can, and I'll get back to you and let you know how this goes. Hello and welcome back. It is now the next day, and I wanted to share my update about using the dandelion leaves. I howled for quite some time, laughing about how bitter and sort of gaggy it was for me. However, I did stick it on the burn. Now, this wasn't like a burn that required medical intervention at all. This was just like a boiling water. It stung. It wasn't blistering, but it was blistering, but not where it blisters up really high for it to be an actual like second degree burn. This was definitely the skin going white and raising up a little bit. Anyways, I put the poultice on it, and it 110% worked. It took the sting out, it made it feel better, and now I only have just a red mark left on my skin. So there you go. It absolutely worked. I hope I don't have to test all of these out. We will see y'all again soon.